everybody. I'm Lauren Dalvia. I'm an astrologer and soul spiritual teacher here at Bene Mudra. And these are horoscopes and astrological check-in for October 25th through November 1st. So we have a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. On the 27th, this energy is going to back into Libra, and what's going to happen then is it's going to reactivate whatever's going on, whatever was going on around September 26th, 27th. So this is going to kind of bring up issues of balance and imbalance, relationship and projection. All of those things will be emphasized. So there's going to be also Mercury is going to meet with Saturn, and that's going to kind of be the second confrontation with restricted and formal communication on November 1st. So it's definitely crunchy this week. We're leading up to the election in the United States. And it's just going to be tricky. So it's actually, you know, each and every sign has that kind of directive to just hang on. The energy's crunchy, the energy's tricky. We have a big full moon on Halloween on the 31st. And what that is going to deliver is some kind of a surprise conclusion that's going to disrupt habits and resources. You know, whatever is taken away or whatever feels like it falls away will ultimately be liberating. That's kind of the energy that it's about. I'm going to give a little bit of info for each sign. And my recommendation, as always, is to listen for your sun sign and also your rising sign. It's equally important. I'm a Sagittarius with a Gemini rising. I pay attention to the Gemini horoscope as readily because it affects me and my outward personality as much. Your rising sign is a manifestation of both inner and outer life. And it actually is the personality in the greatest way that we project to the world, whereas your sun is your essence. So they're equally important. So just to pay attention. So Aries, Mercury retrograde is going to be in your relationship sector. So that's going to reactivate issues from the September 26th, 27th area. Just, you know, watch for relationship imbalance and restrictions, and just be mindful of what's appropriate to discuss. So Venus is going to be in that same area for you, and that's going to emphasize projected desire and questions about who you're attracting. So Venus is also opposite Chiron, which is the wounded healer, and that will kind of activate a painful realization. This could trigger weaknesses and insecurities. So just knowing that that's a potential, should be helpful in navigating. The full moon is in your sector of personal resources. So that's going to deliver, an intense conclusion of some kind regarding money or values. So this could be, you're liberating yourself from an outdated situation. Taurus. Mercury retrograde is in your sector of routine, and that's reactivating issues from September 23rd and 26th, 27th. So deep responsibilities involving health or work or service to others will be in question as you attempt to balance imbalances in your life, like, as you attempt to correct that, which the energy in the sky is asking that you do. The full moon in your sign as well is going to be in the same place as Uranus or Uranus retrograde, and that's going to illuminate any issues around freedom. It's going to activate a new lifestyle, issues from the past around freedom. A relationship might be the turning point. A turning point in a relationship could be the delivery method for this, but this is part of a bigger shift, like a macro shift in terms of habits and security. So it's going to be clear why the old way won't work anymore. Gemini, Mercury retrograde is in your sector of self-expression. That's what's we're going to reactivate from September 23rd to the 27th. So you're going to be confronted with limits to your freedom and enjoyment. Creative work or playtime or heavy relationship discussions could be frustrating. Background fears and responsibilities can keep you focused on what can't happen and what can't be expressed. So you're just going to want to, like, it might hurt to put yourself out there and admit that certain desires are not meant for you, but this is also a chance to move past an ongoing frustration around a lack of self-confidence. So the full moon is going to be in your hidden sector. This is the full moon on Halloween. It's going to reveal an issue that you've been hiding or ignoring. So sudden clarification or disruption can make this change unavoidable and illuminate what you suspected but couldn't confirm. Like there will be a lot of illumination on this full moon for you, Gemini. Cancer, Mercury retrograde is in your domestic sector. That's what's coming up from September 23rd to September 27th. So there could be frustration, conversations with partner, family members. This could come up again. You're asked to address imbalances involving rules or control. What you want to happen at home will have to be adjusted, basically. You don't want to ignore also any emergence of childhood wounds or stuff coming up from the past, and anything around being loved or not being loved enough. This is an oceanic opportunity to lean in and get awareness and healing of these issues. The full moon in your social sector is going to bring a conclusion regarding friendship and public image, or a relationship to the public. Your self-expression and individuality will be in the spotlight, so you can break away from rules that no longer apply. It's basically like the divine wants you to forge your own path in society at this time. Leo, Mercury is in your communication sector during this retrograde period. That's what's going to be reactivated from September 23rd to the 27th. So we're dealing with strained conversations, enforced parameters on what you can say or write. You just want to be careful, double check everything. You probably won't hear what you want to hear. But the good part about that is that will help you move past crucial situations, whether it's in work, or friendship. The full moon is in your career sector. So that is going to present a conclusion in terms of professional image, an existing job, or a job search. So anything that's outdated is going to be swept away, and clarification will be introduced in terms of the future, which is great. Virgo, Mercury retrogrades in your sector of personal resources. That's what's being reactivated from September 23rd to the 27th. This is details about money, savings, and self-esteem. This is going to be crunched into focus during this time. So this could be tricky conclusions around what you share and what you owe. Self-sufficiency versus what partners can or can't give you, or what you must give up. This can trigger insecurity, but ultimately the fact that it's triggering insecurities, you're really on your way to a more balanced way of approaching what you do want. The full moon is in your sector of opportunities. So that is going to be surprising conclusions about travel, legal matters, broadcasting, publishing. It might seem random, but this is a targeted shift to open your mind to new concepts. So you want to take note of this brand new path that you're on. Libra, Mercury retrograde is going to be in your sign. The Mercury retrograde right now, this is Sunday the 25th, is in Scorpio still, and we'll return back there. But right now he's dipping back into your sign in a couple of days. That's going to reactivate issues from the September 23rd to the 27th. This is going to look like possibly difficult family conversations, domestic agreements. This is once again going to be an issue. There's going to be an option to try a different approach. Don't be afraid to look beneath the surface. Don't be afraid to look at your wounds and a partner's wounds. They're going to be in the spotlight likely, and what you attempt to give may not be accepted, or you might attract someone that reflects your pain. Lean in. All of these retrograde periods are super juicy because they want us to dive into this stuff so that it can work through us and out, and then we're for the better for having taken that trip with it and really become acquainted with it. It's old stuff that's coming up so that we can ultimately be free of it. The full moon is in your area of shared resources. That can illuminate truths regarding debts, taxes, partner money, intimacy. Surprises that are out of your control could wake you up to what's been buried. This is a chance to totally redefine your relationship to habits, to security, and to money. It's good news. Scorpio, Mercury retrograde is in your, it's exiting your sign and it's going into your hidden sector. So it's reactivating this area from September 23rd to the 27th. Restrictive secrets and background information will once again be confronted as you deal with what no one wants to discuss openly. So in some cases, this can be a time of solitary healing as well. The full moon is in your relationship sector. That can suggest an abrupt partnership turning point. The surprises or drive for liberation can come to light. An unexpected ending or radically different partner or possibilities. A pace of events might be out of your hands, but this is really one of those situations where like the other person is sort of reflecting changes in your life. So it's good. It's a good time for for Scorpio to just sort of surrender to the order of things. Scorpio likes to be in control big time and likes to drive the ship. And it's kind of like it's projected energy that's going to be coming your way this time. And it's actually really trying to show you something and you're actually really receptive to be able to see it. So my advice is to just like lean in, let it happen. I'm going to be doing the same thing. I have 3 planets in Scorpio, just to like know that what's being excavated is being excavated for your own good, but you don't have to be the driving force behind it. It's going to be the other people are going to kind of show you what you need to see. Sagittarius, Mercury retrograde is in your social sector. So that's reactivating stuff from September 23rd to the 27th. You might find yourself dealing with judgments or restrictive conversations. If you feel censored, your voice might feel censored. You wanna, Venus is moving into the sector and in a difficult place with the wounded healer called Chiron. This suggests painful endings with regard to friendship, attraction, public displays. Insecurity about self-expression can be confronted, but you'll have to get past issues of rejection or embarrassment. The full moon is in your sector of routine, and that is going to deliver likely a liberating conclusion regarding health, work, or service to another. While current habits may be disrupted, there's also a clarification regarding issues that have been obscured or vague. Again, these retrograde periods and the other planetary things that are happening within them, it's drudging stuff up. It's crunchy, it's tough, it's necessary for us to move on to the next place. Capricorn, Mercury retrograde is in your career sector. That's what's being reactivated from September 23rd to the 27th. This looks like challenging conversations with management, with your boss, if you are the boss, to have to participate in those or govern over those. Its attempts to focus or maintain control in your work life will be up for review. So you want to ask again or consider how you can approach authority in a different way, which is like Capricorn is a sign of authority and the sign of self-mastery. So this could be a delayed job interview or a launch. Like it's Mercury retrograde. It's time for delays. There can be awkward conclusions or shift in professional relationships or in professional image. Core insecurities can be triggered. Your status and the balance of your status can come up. The full moon is in your sector of self-expression. This suggests an abrupt display of independence or a surprising response to your romantic and creative efforts. What you may not be like, what you get, it might not exactly be what you expected, but it could be, but it's like the Rolling Stones song, like it's sometimes you get what you need. That's sort of what the message is being delivered. Aquarius, Mercury RX in your opportunities sector is reactivating issues from the September 23rd to the 27th. Restrictions around travel, education, legal matters, like all of this stuff can be revisited, possibly questioned. You could be dealing with hidden responsibilities and guilt that manifests externally. Venus's move into this sector and her opposition to this wounded healer can suggest a tricky conclusion involving travel or education or legal matters. A risk may not work out or an adventure might be over before it starts, but you want to consider what other opportunities are coming up as a result of that or like in the wake of that. The full moon is in your domestic sector and it highlights perhaps like a disruptive conclusion to family matters, relocation, family business. Routine can permanently change, or a deconstruction might liberate you from the past, and this can occur. Um, Pisces, Mercury retrograde in your sector of shared resources can reactivate those issues from September 23rd to the 27th. This looks like difficult conversations, information involving debts or taxes or partners' finances, intimacy, psychological matters. Any of that stuff will be confronted once again. Blocks to deeper understanding should be brushed aside. There's a reason you're repeatedly encountering these limits. Venus is coming into this area and is opposite that wounded healer. And so this can hit some sore spots regarding trust or sharing or deeper desires and secrets. Primary insecurities can be triggered. This encourages you to work on your self-sufficiency and your sense of worthiness. That full moon on Hollywood, on Halloween, is going to be in your communications sector. And that can bring an abrupt answer or decision. So whether you're delivering or receiving the news, this will blast away preconceptions and open your eyes to new possibilities regarding what you thought you knew. So it's an intense week for Pisces. It's an intense week for everyone. Everyone just hang on. We're in super crunchy Mercury retrograde time through the election. It ends on election day. And so just hang on, dot your I's, cross your T's, check that you're not sending a text meant for your boss to your husband and vice versa. Expect delays. Try to laugh at the delays when they come up because it's so crunchy. And just know that things that appear to be lost will be found again if they're meant to be. It sounds cheesy, but that's what these retrograde periods are about. They're here to kind of like dig us in and like let us see what needs to be excavated and what needs to be like realized and gotten rid of. And things from the past that we thought we stepped away from or that we thought we had lost come up again. And it's all for good. Even if it feels so rough, it's only for our own awakening. And all of us collectively are co-creating circumstances for our own awakening always. The US is doing this, the world is doing it, we ourselves are doing it individually. That is connected to karma, and it's all good, but it can feel super, super crunchy during these times, and especially with so much change afoot in the United States and the world. So it's just hang on and remember the higher, remember your own divinity, and remember your soul, and self-care is the way. Even if you relate to some of this, and some of it feels like it applies and some of it doesn't, like just breathe, take baths, water. When things are crunchiest, it's like to kind of step back and go inward and like love yourself, lotions and potions and everything, like just whatever it means, like to just, buy some beautiful pears, like it just, I know what it is for me, but just to really, really take care of yourself and nourish your soul. Again, I thank you so much. I thank actually Nadia Gilchrist, who is one of the astrologers whose work a lot of my reporting is based on. And I'm Lauren Dalvia. I can be found on Instagram at 1111guided and at Lauren1111. You spell the words 11 out in both of those instances. And my information is available at benemudra.com. I do private consultation in astrology, spiritual teaching, and numerology. And I thank you. Have a great week.